Hello, hello, everyone. Good morning. Okay, I think I am live in all the places. Hello and good morning, everybody. If you can see me and hear me, please type in the comment area. I can hear you, I can see you, so that I can make sure that all systems are up and running. Good morning, everyone. And I was able this week to stream live on Instagram as well. So I am on multiple platforms this morning. So I am on Instagram, my YouTube page, the Mystical Moon Facebook page, and Laurie Barraco Facebook page. So I am also coming at you from a different location. Today I am off. So I am at my home this morning as I host this live on this Friday, the last day of January 31st. And so good to see everybody here. So hello and good morning, everybody. Hey there, Janet. Good morning. Good morning. Happy end of January. And then we're going to be talking about Imbolc. We're going to be talking about Imbolc, the energies of Imbolc. And then I will also be hosting some readings here and there. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Anne. Cold and rainy Ohio, kind of like a cold, dreary day, maybe a good day for some soup and some tea. Yes, especially if you don't have to go anywhere. All right, so hello, everybody. So I'm going to set the space for this gathering as more people join in, and I am Laurie Barraco. I don't think I mentioned who I am, but hopefully you know who I am. And yeah, it's always so nice to connect in with everybody here. So let's set that prayer of intention for connecting in as a community. And so we set the intention for communities, like-minded, spiritual tribe, human tribe of like-minded souls that are here with common goals and common belief systems and here to grow and to align with the highest version of themselves here on this planet. And I ask that Spirit support me as I host this within the space or these spaces today, and that the information flows through me in a manner that is supported for all of us. And so it is. Hey there, Jamie. Good to see you from Jupiter. I think I might have mentioned my aunt lives in Jupiter. So Jupiter has a very special place in my heart. And my grandparents moved to Jupiter, I think in 1970. So kind of familiar. And I had the opportunity of going to Burt Reynolds Ranch a couple of times. So that was kind of cool too. So, hey, Joe, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, so we are just on the heels of a new moon in Aquarius. And I don't know if anybody has been able to see that moon these days. It was really gorgeous last night. We're from my vantage point, right? From looking up at the sky and seeing that little sliver of the moon, and it was kind of orangey, reddish. It was just very enticing, I might say. It was really lovely, very lovely. So anybody else get to take a little look at the moon? And so with the new moon, it's always the time of planting seeds, thinking about what we may want to create within this next moon cycle as the energy builds towards a full moon. And in the zodiac sign of Aquarius invites us to step outside of our comfort zones and think about like letting our weird freak flags fly, right? Just like claim who you are. You know, sometimes we keep things on the DL just because we're like, I don't know. But then you know what? When you start to embrace more of that with yourself, you start meeting more like-minded people. Spirit's like starting to align you with them. So I'm just looking at some of the comments. Jamie says, yes, awesome place. It is changing. I bet it is changing. It's been a little while since I have visited. I feel like I have been feeling like it's time for a visit to the East Coast. And Joseph saw it last night on his way home from work. It's really beautiful. It was really beautiful. I can't wait to see it tonight. And so That's always one of my little rituals as I let the dogs out or just sit out on the lanai is just kind of look up and connect and just drink in that cosmic, beautiful, gorgeous energy. All right, so I am going to share. Many of you may have already received the workbook for Imbolc. So I'm going to go through some of the content there. If you're on Instagram, please go to themysticalmoonstore.com. And if you go to the blog section, you will be able to check out that workbook. I'll see if I can add it to the stories on Instagram/Facebook later. So anyway, hey, welcome. Hey, I said more friends joining. Good morning, Brooke. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So I'm just going to kind of navigate over to the blog. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about Imbolc, which is like we're right on the heels. So as the wheel of the year turns, we find ourselves at the sacred threshold of Imbolc, a Celtic fire festival marking the halfway point between winter solstice and the spring equinox. Imbolc, celebrated February 1st and 2nd, honors the goddess Bridget, the bringer of light, creativity, and new beginnings, which is really neat because we just had that new moon, so we're still on riding that wave of energy. This ancient tradition welcomes the slow return of longer days, ignites the spark of renewal, and sets the tone for the growth and abundance of the year ahead. So some of the history of Imbolc is it's rooted in Irish and Celtic traditions. Imbolc translates to in the belly, symbolizing the fertile promise of spring. It is a time when livestock were preparing to give birth, which they still are, and the earth itself begins to stir after a dormancy of winter. The festival is closely tied to Bridget, the goddess of poetry, healing, and smithcraft. People honored her with rituals, offerings, and hearth fires to invoke her blessings of protection, fertility, and inspiration. Candles and flames play a central role in Imbolc celebrations, symbolizing light overcoming darkness and the rekindling of hope and vitality. It's a time for cleansing, setting intentions, and inviting creativity to flow into all areas of life. So who here celebrates Imbolc or is kind of familiar? Like for some people, it's a big old holiday. For other people, it's like, yeah, if I remember to do the things. And so I do prefer to go live on Fridays before the weekend because so many people have time off on the weekend. You could go and gather the things that you would like to work with for yourself spiritually, whether it's getting some feathers from outside or twigs for creating a wand or something. But the weekend usually is a time where people have a little bit more wiggle room to get their supplies or think about what they want to do in their downtime. And even if thinking about what you want to do in your downtime is nothing, it still is a plan, right? It's like my plan Sunday is to kind of just veg. I mean, obviously I use that term pretty easily because that is something I like to do. I like to say, okay, this is my intention. And yes, sometimes I need to change it up, but that's why I like to try to go live on Friday mornings is that to set some things up for the weekend and then the upcoming week as well. All right, so Patty says, I was looking for the set of gift crystals with messages I talked about on a prior live. Could not see them on the site. Oh, I don't remember that. Was it the astrological zodiac crystal kits? I don't remember which ones. Can you refresh my memory a little bit? And sometimes when I'm doing these lives, when I'm hosting them, I don't remember because I'm kind of like in that little bit of that teaching altered space a little bit. If you could just share a little bit more, and later on, or somebody help me, somebody else might have a memory of that. So if you could just give me a couple more details, I might be remembering that. Do you think it was a Valentine's Day crystal gift box? Maybe. Yep, it was the Valentine. There you go. Yeah, see, I just got it. It was the Valentine's Day. So that should be, I think, on the main page of the website, the Mystical Moon store. I feel like that might be on there, but it is let me see here quick. And then I'll get back into the material. No, I didn't put it on the front. Okay, so go to Valentine. Hey, yeah, where are they? That is weird. Huh, I'm not seeing them. Hold on here. It may not even say Valentine candy. Sorry, here I am on another tangent. Oh, that's weird. It's not on here. Okay, I will fix that so that it seems like that product is not live. Let me see. Oh, yeah, it's not in the online store. Oh, oops. I'll fix it right now. And they are really cute because there are 9 different ones. So we'll see. It should show up shortly. But I did put it live. So it's called Crystal Candy Box. So if you look that up, Crystal Candy Box, you should be able to see it. It should show up soon. Yeah, there we go. Thanks for asking, Patty. See, I wouldn't have known it wasn't on the website if you didn't say something. There you go. Anyway, so there it is. Ta-da! Ta-da! Here you go. Now, I will say this, the box is not like a heavy, super heavy duty box, but it is a really cute little gift and it's a great value. Okay, there you go. So now you've got it. Thank you for asking about that. Okay. Joe says they do Imbolc. It's one of the celebrations that if I do my spiritual job as a guardian, that I do my spiritual job as a guardian of a grove. Oh, love that. Love that. Okay. So, ways to celebrate Imbolc. So lighting a candle, creating your own sacred space by lighting a candle and meditating on your intentions for the month ahead. Spring cleaning. I've already been feeling that for myself. Now, how far I get with that these days is spurts here and there. So spring cleaning, clear out stagnant energy in your home to make room for fresh inspiration. Honor Bridget, leave an offering on your altar or hearth, such as milk, honey, or poetry written in her honor. Craft your own intentions. Use this time to plant the seeds of what you wish to grow, both literally and figuratively. So you could also download this workbook, which this is the blog. And if you click on the link, it will take you to the workbook. And so the one thing before I click on the link and share that with you is, it's an important time. So why would we celebrate Imbolc? It reminds us that even in the darkest times, light is always on its way and light is always available to us if we align to it. It's an opportunity to realign with our inner purpose, clear out what no longer serves us, and welcome the spark into inspiration. By embracing the themes of this sacred festival, we open ourselves to growth, creativity, and abundance in all areas of our life. Take this time to honor your journey, celebrate your progress, and set intentions for the brightest days ahead. So we're here to support you. So I'm going to click on the link for the blog, and not the blog, excuse me, but the workbook. And I'll drop that in here for you. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to work. Hold on here. Let me delete that. Yeah, that didn't work because I have the wrong delete comment. You might need to go to the blog for that to show up. Hold on here. Yeah, because it's connecting my Chrome extension, so we don't want that. We don't want to do that. All right, so I'm going to check on some of the comments on Instagram, and so Jaunty flower four says, I'm new to exploring the area of spirituality, and this is so timely. See, spirit always, kind of pulls us or nudges us to move into a direction that is aligned with where we are at. So the Imbolc workbook has lots of good stuff. It has the different foods, altar suggestions, crystals, herbs, talking about the colors, the animals, the gods, the goddesses, and some visualization, like a meditation that you can work with. There's a candle ritual, journal prompts, working with creativity, how you can align with your higher self with creativity. Creativity it looks different for everyone, right? And when we are in that creative flow, it really does it opens these channels to our higher self, and it opens up the channels this way, and it opens up the channels. It's like that flow, that infinity 8, to help us with inspiration from our higher selves and our spirit team and source. And then we anchor that. And then it's like this beautiful continuous flow with creativity. And creativity could be gardening, it could be painting, it could be singing, it could be doing so many different things. But that creative flow doesn't mean you have to be artistic. It doesn't mean you have to be a painter or a poet or a musician. We all have creative gifts, superpowers. It all looks different for everyone, but that creative time, that creativity, again, opens up those channels of energy, of connection. So some things you could do is create Bridget's cross using rushes or straw, write poetry, start a dream journal to capture your nighttime visions, create a vision board for your spring goals, and try a new art form or technique you've been curious about. Some people like to cook too, or make different tinctures, or create different alchemical sprays, right? It looks different for everyone. There's also a card spread for you, and then just some notes. And it's chock full of wonderful stuff, that Imbolc workbook. Any comments or questions here? I see so many people have been joining me here. Hello, friends. So for me during this, I'll wait as I wait for the delay with comments or questions. For me, this Imbolc, I'm very much focused on the dream time for myself. And I have been setting different intentions before I go to bed, with connection and aligning and receiving information or wisdom or guidance or downloads during the dream state, to help me with a recalibration and a realignment, to validate my inner thoughts and where I'm at in my path, and where the breadcrumbs are from spirit, with spirit for myself. And I've also been very, very connected with, or guided, or attracted, or obsessed with, like, herbs. Herbs, just so much these days with herbs. Just feeling like I want to just like, and the funny thing is that I have a brown thumb, so I'm not very, I'm not very lucky with plants. But hey, the herbs are calling me with their frequencies. Any questions or comments, friends? Hello, Instagram friends. Oh, I'm so glad this is timely, and yes, awesome. Thank you for your comments on Instagram. What was the other thing I wanted to mention before I go into some questions? Oh yeah, I was going to talk about psyche development. So I have had a plethora of requests for teaching psyche development online again. So I teach it once a month at my Bonita Springs shop center, and it's a very popular class. And so then so many people have reached out and said, "How about online? What about online?" So I will put it out there again. I will repeat the lesson of that month rather than coming up with 2 different lessons, and maybe begin to host monthly psyche development classes. I'm not sure how that's going to look exactly. We can do it like as a one and done, like through Zoom, or we can do within my my online social platform, which is the Hive with with my hive people. And I might do that too, because I know there are so many people who are saying, I don't know about social media, right? I don't know about this. So many changes and all that. And I'm not quite feeling it as much, although, and you've heard me repeat this many times, if it wasn't for the moon and connection with clients and so on and so forth, I pretty much wouldn't be on Facebook or other social platforms. It just is a way of connectivity with so many people. I mean, like, look, I'm connecting with all of you here today, right? But I'm just kind of listening in to that for that. And Jamie says, yes, please. So if I was to host an online psyche development class, I've toggled with, should it be in the daytime, like on a Saturday, or should we do this like on a Friday night, which maybe feels a little better. But then, maybe I'll put a couple of surveys out there. And the other thing I do want to encourage you is to, if you haven't already signed up for either my Laurie Barraco newsletter or the Mystical Moon Storefront newsletter, please do, because that's where you will get all of the notifications of what's coming up and so on and so forth. So that can help you stay up to date. For the month of January, last week's psyche development class in person was on light language. And oh my gosh, how fun that was. It was, and I said to them before we started, I might have even said this on the live last week, I said, it's going to be fun, interesting, and it's going to be a little weird, but everybody really enjoyed it. And what I love about this, that there are so many epiphanies for the individuals who participate and join on these platforms, or on the platforms and in person. And that just makes my heart sing. And I know that that's part of my purpose, is to hold space for that and to hold space for the group experience. And next month for February, I'm going to be, the topic is Ascended Masters. We'll see what happens there. Yeah. So if you haven't signed up for the newsletter, please do themysticalmoon.com or go to lauriebarraco.com. So I'm going to just toggle over here for go to Instagram. And one of the questions is, how do you know if you have the gift for psychic development or to be developed? Well, my friend, I will say that we all have that gift. We all have an internal navigation system that is connects us energetically, consciousness wise, pre-wired to our higher selves, to our spirit self, to our non-physical self. We all have this, and all of the psychic gifts look different for everybody. Some people hear energy, some people see energy, some people feel energy, some people know the information. So those are the clairs: clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, and clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, and claircognizance. So those are the four main psychic gifts. So we all have these internal, this internal system that helps us with aligning with our purpose. And I believe every person should take a psyche development class, because it's going to help you with your purpose, with staying on point, and it will help you with knowing when, I am out of alignment and I'm going to need to get back into alignment with my path, my decisions, and the opportunities for my soul's growth, and with gaining wisdom and learning and understanding and fulfilling my contracts. Plus, it's really fun. Right? It's really fun and interesting and weird and woo and all of that. So there's a question about class on dream manifestation. So yes, I can definitely put that into the suggestion box. And like I said, I will probably put some kind of poll out there with what type of psychic development class you're interested, and maybe a couple of the different options. I will not be able to repeat the class just because of a time thing, right? Like a time schedule. So if I schedule it online, it will be once a month in addition to the in-person. Yeah, we'll see, because there are a few different ways to do that too, because we can have a monthly online psychic personal soul development group where the monthly psychic development classes are uploaded there and you can watch live. Anyway, so we'll see. Great. Okay. Yes. Oops. So I see an oops typed in there. I hope it's all good. All right. And Patty said she would love an online class. All right, cool. Cool, cool, cool. And during these classes too, there is practice. Everybody has an opportunity of sharing messages with the other people, right? So not only are we discussing and there's a topic where there's a lot of sharing from me, but then there's also there's a practical application of testing our psychic skills. I know that a lot of people, like, there's so many different things that people are interested in, like psychic reading practice. I mean, we could work with that too. I know people have asked for in person. Some people prefer in person and some people online, but I'm just going to kind of like let all of that just kind of settle in. And that's how I like to formulate things, is gather in the information and then wait and see, and not be impulsive and schedule it right away. Let's wait and see. We'll put the inquiries out there, and then it's like it kind of comes together where it's a little out of focus, a little scattered, and then it all kind of comes together with the alignment, if it's an alignment, and if it's the best timing, and if it's not. Okay. All right. And that's a manifestation tip right there, right? Rather than making a lot of impulsive decisions, let's sit with it. Let's put the inquiries out there, and then we wait, and then we observe, and we pay attention to what's happening in our outer world and our inner world. Okay. All right. All righty. So, hey there, friends on Instagram. So good to see you. So I am going to open the space for questions. And yeah, I am going to be using one of the decks I have at my home here, which is the Light Seers Tarot. This is the back of it, the Light Seers Tarot, one of my favorite decks. And when I go live, or when I do my 3 email questions, I usually use this deck here at the house, at the home. Look, I have a few. I'm just looking. I have a few other decks here too. Can't help it. All right. And I already have my deck selected for the month of February. It's not a traditional love deck, lover, oracle, lovers, tarot. It's a different deck that was calling to me. Okay. Yep, I think that's it. I think that I've done enough housekeeping there. Away we go. So feel free to type in a question, and I will see if Spirit has any messages for us at this time. And away we go. So looks like the first one is from Patty. Are there responses to help locate my son? So are there responses to help locate my son in San Diego legit? Will I find him? My worst nagging fear is I'll never know what happened to him. So then the question is, where are these responses coming from? I feel like there are a couple different ones coming from different places, and I'm not so sure if they are legit. So as I move into the inquiry and into the higher self channel, into my channel, I see more periods of time where we're connected with him, we see him, then there's a pause, and then there's the unknown, and then we hear more. Like, it's like I see him kind of hanging there. I see him hanging in there. Like, this is an interesting analogy that Spirit wants me to share with you. Do you remember that game? And I haven't thought about this game forever. Barrel of Monkeys. Remember Barrel of Monkeys? So, right, you have the monkeys, they have the little plastic hook, and then you keep adding to it. And that's where I kind of feel where he's at, hanging by the thread. And then another situation happens, and then he gets he makes some progress, still hanging in there, more alignment, and then just there's this pause where it's all too much for him, and then he has to start over. That's where I feel like he keeps doing that toggle back and forth. So here's the question for you. So is it better to know what's going on from possible half information, or is it better to, or healthier to, not have too much information or knowledge of the play-by-play until something comes in. I have to ask, did you hire a private eye, like an investigator? That's my question. Yes, some like so this is oh my gosh, that is so interesting. So here are the cards I pulled. So we've got the Four Swords, absolutely the anxiety and the not knowing and just that whole back and forth. The Hanged Man reversed, meaning that he has made some there has been personal growth, there's been some healing at this time. I remember the barrel of monkeys. Look at that. To me, that kind of looks like that a little bit. So this is the Six of Pentacles. And so what this is all about, this is for you. This is Spirit wanting to acknowledge that you have done the best you can. This is more of like, a spirit, your higher self, your helper, so your divine self, light, the light, redirecting you to going through this checklist of I've done all I can. I've tried to be a good mother with all the wisdom or the knowledge or the, with what the hands I was dealt, and it did my best. And so to work on some of that acceptance for yourself, I felt like that's where Spirit is guiding you these days. Okay. All right. And so your comments are, yes, that's very spot on. And I did not yet hire because not sure to trust and very expensive. I feel like it's the time to wait a little bit. Okay, Patty, I hope that helped a little. Okay. And yes, I understand that. Okay. All right. So take a deep breath, right? So sometimes a lot of the time there are scenarios in our lives where it's out of our hands and we've done all we can do and we're just so frustrated, right? And I'm glad that helps you, all right? Sending you lots of healing. And so within this collective, whether you're watching live, the live recording or recorded version, the replay, I know a lot of people do hashtag replay. Let's all just take a moment, right? And send healing to all those who are struggling. We don't all know what everybody's going through, right? There's no way we can know. And why should we know? We shouldn't always know. It's not healthy to know everything that's going on. Some things are very personal and private. Sending those collective prayers of light and healing, that those who are challenged, that they receive guidance and support, and that they welcome in the love, the healing, the light that's available to them at all times. When we're feeling off course, out of alignment, take a moment, breathe into your inner self, open the channels of healing and connectivity to your divine self, to your soul, to your spirit. And it's almost like having a visual of opening up that trap door and welcoming in the blessings and the healing and the light to help support you at this time. Okay. And so we send healing and light to all those who are challenged. And sometimes that does help to as a healthy distraction. Let me pray for others and just send that ball of energy and send it out there. And Patty says, I'm living by threads as well. All right. So try to work with that if you can. Okay. Next, I'm going to go to Instagram and see my new friend, Jaunty Flower. Will I receive a diagnosis for what's causing my chronic body pain soon? Thank you. With your inflammation and so you have gone to a traditional doctor, correct? I'm just wondering, my friend. So I'll wait till you respond, my friend, Jaunty Flower, for my flower friend. If you could, then answer that. I feel like you will. However, there's a lot of stress and there are hormones that are running amok because of that. Is it cortisol that we release when we're like a lot's going on with our sensitivities? They're saying, this is what they're showing me, meaning that like your helpers in that channel of that I'm sharing with you. Here's a fishing pole, casting it out. She needs to dial it back in, her energy. So like your feelers, your attention, right? Energy goes where energy flows where attention goes, right? So like it's like there's a scatteredness that's going on. Let's kind of dial it back. And I feel like simplifying some things at this time will really help you. I feel like, and so I'm just looking at the comments. You say you haven't gone to a doctor. I think that you may want to think about that a little bit just to like answer all of the questions. But first, before you go, because maybe you have some reservations around going to a doctor, I don't know, but I do believe that traditional medicine can help us as well. But let's pull in your scatteredness, and we need to refocus. So like I said, like that fishing rod, let's pull it back in, like over here, bring back your energy, bring back your focus. You don't need to be all of the things all over the place. And I feel like there's a lot of indecision with you. And I think that you're taking what other people are saying too personally. And I really feel like you're reading too deeply into some things that you don't need to overanalyze or keep too close to the heart. And many people right now on this planet are empaths, so they're clairsentient, so they are sensitive to their environment and they absorb it all. It would help you to really keep up to implement a spiritual hygiene practice where you're getting outside and connecting with nature, getting fresh air, connecting with trees, salt baths, cord cuttings, disconnecting the outside world and pulling right back here within you. Okay. I'm just reading your comments. Normal doctor, yes, not naturopath. Okay. So I felt like it's almost like they're doing all the tests, but what will help you too is pulling your energy back in, paying attention to when you have your flare-ups. And I do feel like I said that cortisol just feels like it's off the charts. Has the doctor already suggested bland foods? Because I'm feeling that also there's this, we need to get and this happens, this is the advice a lot of times in readings that I find that if we get the body chemistry adjusted and in flow, that then we'll start to be able to, as we implement different foods and environments and supplements, what the flare up is from. Okay. That's like your cord cuttings too. So, and that sounds about right. Okay, good. So I'm going to pull 3 cards quick because I know there are other questions here as well. So you may not find an answer right away. And so we have the 9 of Wands reverse, which is about not being able to put one more thing on your plate responsibility wise. And I feel like you are on stimuli overload. This is the Fool reverse. So this has to do with taking responsibility for somebody else's stuff. Like I feel like it's not yours to own. And then the last one is the Page of Wands. So I do think that there will be some progress, However, I do think that this is something for you to be mindful of. And I feel like this all started like 6 years ago. So that's like 2019-ish, where you started to notice that like there's a compounding of things. Okay. All right. All right. So I hope that helps for you. And if these messages resonate, that they may be for you as well. Okay. All right. Okay, good. I hope that resonates. Excellent. All right. So, and you're very welcome, friend. Joe. Okay. So, Joe's question is, my question is, what is the time frame for us moving out of Florida, or are we going to stay for a bit? Also, my England trip is at the end of February. Do I want anything? Yeah, I want you to pack me in your suitcase. Rocks, water from the well. I would love some well water, please, if you can. Thank you. From the Chalice Well. So I don't know if you're staying at the well or if you're staying at an Airbnb, just my favoriteest place on the planet. Yes, I would love some water from the well. Thank you. I have some dirt from Merlin's castle. So here's a weird side note, and then I'll get into the questions. I don't know. Um, so I don't recommend this, but I know that it came from a trusted source. I actually took a little bit of that dirt sand and I ingested it, and I went into a meditation, right? So of course you want to be careful. I know that's kind of like, it could be reckless of me to say this, but just be mindful. But I knew the source it came from. And so yeah, I was guided to ingest a little bit. So then I embodied, had that energy flowing through my body. It was really cool. A very expanded meditation. Mhm. All right. A time frame. I think that your trip is going to help. It's like the last couple of pieces to your ahas and your epiphanies and your understanding. It's so, what's the term I want? It's like the transmission is complete. So for when you go there and when you come back, it's just the last bit of the essence in with that experience, and stepping away from your everyday regular life and going there. And then there's the alignment with the frequencies and like the last couple of pieces to some puzzles of like your next level in the ascension process, to the next level in your ascension process as a person, as a human. And I just feel like it's going to change a lot when you come back. So then I feel like there's a regrouping and a waiting a little bit before we make a move. So I don't feel like you're going to be moving yet. And here you go. Nope. See, here are your 3 cards. No move yet. I feel like let's put that on pause. Let's put a little, what is it? A little dog ear on that page. Let's wait a little bit. So we have the sun reversed. We have the star. Oh, I love this. And then we have the double reverse. So the pause, the sacred pause, is not because it's, there's a block. It just is, there are other things, synchronicities, alignments that will open doors, that will unlock and open because of your experiences and the expansion of your experiences of the stimuli. Okay. All right. So I hope that helps a little. So if we were to say, like, if I was to kind of put it out there and ask spirit, I'm going to say like 18 months. Let's give some things 18 months. Okay. All righty. I'm going to click on over to Instagram. So I don't see any questions here on Instagram, and this is your opportunity to type one. And if you have one, and, I'm going to be live here until 11 a.m. Or also, so they're being very quiet. My 2 little Frenchies in the other room, so they're being very quiet. So if they might bark, who knows? Because I feel like someone may be coming home soon, and then they're gonna. But so if you hear that, that's just them. That's Luna and Ruby being little stinkers. And Joe says, I'll get you water, and I have done the dirt thing before. And yeah, this trip is going to be life-changing, and that I already know. Thank you. Right? It's more of that changing of the scenery, being on a, like, physically aligning with the frequencies of the earth, and just that whole other experience. So cool for you. So cool. Yeah. The life-changing experiences have already been happening in the outer world, and even more taking place within your inner space, your inner worlds. Okay, so I'm going to go over to StreamYard. It sounds like somebody's doing their lawn, so I'm sorry if there's a little distracting noise. I'm spending 2 days in Glassberry, going to Avebury. I love Avebury too. The henges are gorgeous. Sunrise at Stonehenge and meeting a few dragons. Hey, that's very similar to my trip. One of my trips, a couple of my trips. So enjoy and have fun, my friend. So the next question is from Jamie Day. She says, ugh. Any flowing guidance, anything flowing in for guidance on transition time? Yeah, let's see what we got. I have to ask you a question, because right now I had to take a nice deep breath. Jamie, how often do you pause and breathe? How often do you pause and breathe? How often do you take that moment and fill your lungs and take a moment to allow that oxygen to move through all of your systems, your brain, your lungs, your nervous system, your digestive system, circulatory system. How often do you do that and feed your body with light and oxygen and intention? How often do you do that? I am going to say probably not too frequently because you're busy. You're a busy gal. She's like, she's over here, she's over there, she's not sure, she's frustrated, right? So taking those sacred pauses, and they don't have to be exaggerated, but I really feel that that would really help you at this time. There's something about hand positions. You know, some people do this, some people do this. Maybe find a mudra hand position that will help you with the circuits in your body to get the circuits of energy going. I also, it's like too much in here. They're showing me, oh, there's too much in here. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure it out, how it's going to look. And there's not just one way. And the solution, or how it's all going to come together, is coming from back there, from left field, from left field. Okay. So let me just check in with your comments. Lost my job because I whistleblowed on my boss. Not often enough, right? So the job wasn't for your highest and best good, and I'm sure you documented everything, so we'll just leave that there. Here's what I'm saying. In this transitional time, I see you putting your feelers out for something that is an income, probably similar to what you did before. Similar. I wouldn't worry about like the referral part. It feels like there is actually someone who you know already in a similar field that with what you have done before that may help you out, right? And I also think that it's important for you to think about what I can do as an independent contractor so that I can be sure that the ethical pieces are right here within me and that I don't have too many people overseeing me at this time. How can you be more independent and begin to be more of like contract work and to be your own boss? Okay. So I'm getting that. Right. So let's see what the cards are coming through for you. So here we have the Knight of Pentacles reversed. You were kind of like stagnant anyway. I'm going to say that. Oh, the Tower. So this was a Tower moment. Like, really? Because you were honest and you spoke the truth and your integrity piece needed to be said. I am going to say this. I do think that there are other people that are going to that follow suit with you. It feels like they're going to try to be anonymous, or I just felt like you started something, and I think that it was needed and necessary, and kudos to you. So there's your Tower moment. And then we have the 10 of Wands, just all of this stuff. Like, look at you. There's Jamie. I'm packing up my shit and going because I was ready to go anyway. All right, I'm done. So more moments of breathing and not figuring it out. Yeah, putting pressure on yourself to figure it out, because I feel like in this time of transition, there is, again, something to help. Like, there's an opportunity, there is work for you to pay your bills, but this is not forever. And then in that place of getting you out of that environment and working through all of this stuff, right? Because should I have done that? Blah, 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 all of this feedback to try to work on deflecting energy coming at you, right? The frustration. But I do think you set some really good things in motion. So just give it a little bit more time. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I see your comment. Not good. Not good. Yep. So I can already feel like the shift with you. So just know that you are ready to make a change. Changes are afoot. You've got your Tower moment, but Tower can be a blessing because this ripple effect was necessary. Okay. All right. Oh, that helped a little. Yeah. Oh. I keep hearing you. Oh, no, you didn't. About the boss. Okay, so another question here. Hello on Instagram. My father transitioned last May. Are there any messages for me? Let me just see, my friend. And I am so sorry your father transitioned last year. So there are a couple of unanswered questions I feel like that you have, and it's just like, oh, if I could have just had a little bit more time, if I could have had just a little bit more time, I would ask him this, or I would want him to share. I'm going to invite you to create a space, whether you like in your home, whether you have his picture, you talk to his picture, and to connect with him that way as well. I just feel like there are a lot of, whether it's storytelling or just one more time, I just feel like one more time, it's just not enough is what I'm feeling with you. And with your father, I just feel like even if we had another couple of years, it still wouldn't be enough because there's just there just isn't enough time, because then we think of these things afterwards because we think we have so much time, right? um I'm going to ask you this, and this is a personal question. You could just say yes or no, because this is the message I'm getting from your father, that there's, since his passing or even just before his passing, I felt like there's someone who is kind of leaning on you a lot, and their drama, their chaos is not your drama or chaos, and it's codependent. And your father's saying, like, let's be mindful of that. That's not good for you, and to not take the bait and play into the game. I just feel like this is really about healthy boundaries. And so you have this beautiful spirit where I want to help people. I don't want to turn anybody away, but your father's encouraging you to take care of yourself, that you can't fix everybody. Some people are committed to certain stories and invested in those stories. You don't need to participate in that anymore. Um, I keep feeling your father at night. I'm feeling his spirit waking you up around like 1:32. So if you find yourself getting up to use the restroom, or or you're uncomfortable or restless, I feel like that's about his calling hour between 1:30 and 2 in the morning AM. And he keeps wanting me to say July. So there's something about, right? So you said he passed in May, but there's either something coming up in July, a birthday, an anniversary, or something, or like a milestone or a crossroads that took, I feel like it's last year, 2024, in July, that he's acknowledging. And you're saying that this makes sense. Okay, good. I'm glad this makes sense for you. Right. That, so he's saying just make sure you're taking care of yourself. And 1:30, 2 a.m. I feel his spirit with you. So having his photo and talking to his photo and connecting with him, I feel that you're wondering, am I making this up? Is this him? Is this not him? And I have to ask about expensive cologne. Did he wear expensive cologne, or is he with someone who likes expensive or prefers expensive, who has an affinity for expensive cologne, or is it you? Because I just see, I'm hearing, oh, that expensive cologne. It's well worth it. So I'm gonna wait for the answer. So just wait a moment here. And if he liked expensive everything. Okay. So then you have some of that. You have inherited some of that taste, the taste for um, wonderful earthly things, right? And so I do think that you can smell his expensive cologne. I feel like there are like a couple that he goes back and forth with. Do you remember? I don't know if it's still out there. And I don't know if this is from your dad or somebody else. Remember Paco Rabanne? Pacorabonne. Remember that cologne? Oh, I'm seeing what you're saying. Oh, you like Le Labo. I don't know that one. I might have to check it out. But Paco Rabanne, that's different than what you wrote, the Le Labo. I might be saying it incorrectly, but yeah. So I just feel like there's that chuckle. And if there was a throne in heaven, he says, mine would be like fancy. It would be decked out. It would be classy. It would be high end. It would have the jewels and the material that is just the best of the best. He's making a joke. But there is something about a throne. So I don't know if he had a chair that was like his favorite chair, but just wait a moment for the comments, and then I'll shift over to the last question on the other stream. Okay. Hello, friends. I'm just going to finish up here as I click over here to Jamie. Yes, I'm putting a load of pressure to figure it out, and so helpful. I'm glad that helped. Thank you for sharing. All right. So my friend Quantum Living. All right. Yes, his recliner was his throne. Okay. But does that 1:32 a.m. make sense? And it may not be every night. It may not be every night that you are waking up, but I feel like there are periods where it's like I keep waking up at that time, and then that there is that July reference for you. So I only have a couple more minutes. I'm gonna switch over here to the stream over here. And so we have Anne. I know this is going to be a transitional year for me in many ways. The plan is to focus on getting my ducks in a row as best I can. Yeah, some of those ducks are rogue. Some of them are rebels. Let go of what's not coming together. So just go with try. And I feel like you do, but there's a little bit of like you're determined and sometimes very set in how it can come together. So there is the stepping outside of your box and go with the flow. Some ducks are, like I said, some ducks are rebels. Some are defiant. Some ducks are not supposed to be in a row. So just know that what you think are ducks that need to be in a row, those aren't the ducks. Does that make sense? Let's see what we got here. We'll pull 3 cards right from the middle. Yeah, go with the flow. 3 of Cups reversed, the Hanged Man, and then the 5 of Cups. So that tells me that you are not doing as many silly, fun things. Like you're being more responsible, and I think you should always be responsible, like take care of your bills, like honor your obligations, but there's too much seriousness and not enough balance with that playtime. And remember, time to just veg out and do nothing and to be silly and give yourself permission. Lately, I've been watching a lot of like documentaries about some serious stuff, and I thought, oh my gosh, I don't want to watch that anymore. Next one I'm going to watch like a comedian, and I'm going to laugh. I'm going to watch that because my mom and we've been watching a lot of them. But I think that I need a little bit more lightheartedness and to have those big belly laughs. All right. And my friend, yes, timing makes sense. And thank you so much. You're welcome. So sorry, I just switched over to Instagram. I hope that made sense to you, Anne. All right. So we're just about out of time. I just saw another question here. So Tessie, Teresa, I can't highlight it. I have to ask, I know you have your question, but I'm starting to get kind of warm here. Whenever I start feeling like waves of warmth and heat, to me, it tells me that there's some healing that's taking place. And it's not always a physical healing. It can be emotional or a mental, but I just feel, I'm just feeling a shift within you. And I feel like it doesn't have to do with your husband, but it's for you. And just don't forget to take care of yourself. So your question is, will my husband keep his current job or will we move? So we're going to pull 3 cards here, but just know that there's some healing and you might be overdoing it these days. So will my husband keep his current job? And will there be a move when we move? So at this time, it doesn't look like, so forever. So it's a no, we won't have that job forever, but let's say within let me shuffle. I felt like for now, yes, but I do think that there always has been a potential move for you. So within the year, I feel like let's give it like a year or so before there is a move. Okay. Yeah. There's some changes within the company that I feel like, I almost feel like it's a close call. Oh no, maybe not. But For now, he will still have the job. He will not have, he most likely will not have that job for the next year, but there are changes and you've already been feeling it. We just don't know when it's going to happen. So my advice is to be as proactive as possible, see what else is out there, what his salary is worth. And I do think it's time to get your house ready. Just get everything in order. Like if you have some things that you want to fix or drawers you want to go through or closets or things you want to kind of declutter, this is the perfect time to do so. Okay. All right. All righty. And Anne says, yes, thank you. All right, my friend. So that's going to wrap it up for this week's live. And next week, I believe I'll be live. Just make sure you sign up for the newsletters, the mysticalmoon.com or lauriebarraco.com, and you'll be able to see within the newsletter if I'm going live. And I will try to post on social media if I am going live, or just check in, see if I'm live. Oh, is she live? We'll see. But typically I'll be live from 10 a.m. Eastern to 11 a.m. Eastern. I'm just going to throw it out there. Don't forget, this is the last call for Pam's Reiki 2 class, the Reiki 2 attunement class on Sunday at the Bonita Moon from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. It's $100. You could call the front desk to sign up. Next Friday, I think it's the 7th maybe, or 7th. I'm hosting my crystal bowl meditation at 6:30 at the Bonita store. Call the front desk to sign up. I only have a couple more spots left. And then on next Saturday, it is the 7th. So the 8th, we have our jewelry trunk show with Nugent Jewelry. Lots of beautiful things back there. And we'll have the whole back room set up with jewelry. And so you could come in and you can shop, and we'll have lots of helpers to help you out. All right, my friends, thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you all having a beautiful rest of your week, good weekend, and may February be fabulous. And I just can see like these comments are pulling me in. So Meg says she's having a rough patch. Denise says she can't get herself in gear. I'm going to say this. The collective is super thick, like thick pea soup. And so to align and to raise your vibration, you have to work extra hard. I might have mentioned this in my last week's live, to be on that higher self channel and to align and to make that connection, to be in that channel and stay in that channel. It's a little bit extra, right? Because the collective is so thick. So just, if you can use your intention and your visual, you want to kind of like hover above the stuff that's going on, the thoughts, the blah, 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 all of that, hover above and have your intention to, and to connect within this divine higher self channel. That may help you with all that's going through. And yes, you'll make it through, Meg. Will the relationship survive this rough patch? I'm not 100% sure, because there's free will piece between both of you, free will, your free will, their free will, and what's in alignment. But if you're struggling, ask Spirit to help to support you to be in alignment with any relationship that's for your highest best good. And if it's not for your highest best good, that there be a loving, peaceful transition, parting of the ways with love and integrity. And Denise, you're going to get it in gear. You got to just hover above. I also feel, Denise, there's still some stuff that you're dealing with, which I know about, right? Just like some grief, people close to you transitioning, and you're moving through the grief. There's your thick pea soup too. So honor where you're at. You may not have as much energy as what you had before and stamina. Just know that this is a season that you're in that. And I feel like her motor will get going, because she'll get her mojo back slowly. Okay. All right. So thank you so much for tuning in, sending you all so much love, and I release the energies. Namaste, my friends. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody.